Yo, what up guys, beside this here with a new champion guide for one that I did not get to enjoy and build in the early game, but now because of the City of Centranos, which is making me build a bunch of champions to get them ready for that end game content, I'm putting out a video for Kaiden, a champion from the Dark Elves faction who is best known in Raid Shadow Legends as one of the few epic revivers you will have in this Dark Elves faction. You can check through the Dark Elves, there is not a lot of epic revivers except Ryan, who is normally obtainable for free from Doom Tower stages, right? So yeah, that's Kaiden right here. Where is he? Kaiden, unique looking champion, definitely a unique champion design for sure. And Dark Elves are not best known to look like this, but it almost looks like one of those Night Rev or something like that. But yeah, he's from the Dark Elves faction and he has their colors and everything. What does this champion do? Best known for the revive. There's no better ways to talk about this champion than a reviver. I don't see anybody using this champion for anything else than this A3 skill, and that's what I built him for whatever stage I will use him for City of Centranos. I don't know yet. I just know that a lot of endgame players who have taken down City of Centranos say that Kaiden is one of the few champions that could do a revive for them, and without a revive, most of those content you can't get through because they hit so hard. So he's not just a reviver. His revive is on a 4-turn cooldown. It's not one of those revivers that is a 5-turn cooldown like the one I did yesterday, and that's it right here. He also places increased defense on them for 1 turn when it brings them to life with 50% HP. So it's not like 20% HP like I did yesterday for another champion who I kind of bashed, but he's good. He's good for this job. It's not an AoE all allies come back to life revive, but it's 2 allies coming back to life revive. Is not also that bad. Increased defense on them means they will not take too much damage also. So that's the A3, what he will be using on this champion. He has no passive, he has no aura. This champion is not that special, but the revive is very useful, especially if he's the only revive you have in the Dark Elves faction for your early game content. All right, so attacks all enemies, 75% chance of landing it is going to be 100% chance of landing it when you spend books on this champion. Decreased attack AoE is kind of good in a lot of content, means the enemies hit you less harder, especially against bosses. Also decreased attack is awesome, but usually you want it on an A1, but he has this on an A2 3-turn cooldown when you spend books on this skill, and it's going to be definitely useful in content like the Hydra, clan boss, dungeons, anywhere. Decreased attack is welcome, even if it's for the 3-turn cooldown but lasts for 2 entire turns. So decreased attack useful everywhere, so it's not a useless A2. I just wish it did something else. So most people who have champion like a Stagnite or somebody else would not add Kaiden to the team because of decreased attack. You normally want somebody else who has decreased attack on A1 instead of decreased attack on the AoE skill, except you have no options like I said, like for City of Centranos where decreased attack AoE will be very, very good. So that's not that bad A2, but it can do better. We've seen better A2 than this. That's what I'm saying. Maybe since he already has a good revive, they didn't want to give him something else that make him extra too good. So that's why this decreased attack is like this. And on the A1 with a 15% chance to provoke, he can book up to a 20%, 25% chance, 30% chance to provoke. That's a very low chance of provoke. A1 provoke is normally seen like a 50% chance on champions who wants to actually provoke, but a 30% chance is too low. Even with the right masteries, it's still very, very low chance of provoking it. And this champion's damage is based on defense, and I don't see anybody building for damage. Support champions like this or defense champions, which is his role, are not best known for building for damage. But I will cap this champion because besides accuracy that is needed to land that decreased attack and the provoke, there is not other stats that this champion needs. It doesn't need high HP. It doesn't need high speed. Well, he should have reasonable speed being a reviver and all that. I'll show you how I build this champion, but first head back to this Dark Elves faction. I can see that normally people don't appreciate this champion because by the time you get to faction wars, Mitrola is already obtained, you've already gotten Visix, so you already have like 2 champions already in your roster, legendaries. That's why most people don't really appreciate him. They are not revivers, but they are tanky champions who have the ability to keep your team alive. Maybe that's why I was able to take down this Dark Elves faction without Kaiden helping me as a reviver. So it depends on your roster. If you are scanty in Dark Elves legendaries, you will definitely use Kaiden. And I also had Dark K who has decreased attack also. So there are lots of options we got in the early game almost for free that made us not even use Kaiden. I also had Silas. So I'm thinking faction wars for the early game first of all, and of course for dungeon content, if you have no other revivers, you can use him. So let me show you how I build this champion before I test him out in some battle content, and yeah, give you some early game advice. And of course, you already know I built him getting ready for City of Centranos, so his build might be a little bit on the high side in terms of speed and maybe accuracy. So that's Kaiden, that's my build. What am I looking for this champion? Fast, speed, relentless, reflex. I've already talked about it so many times. Any reviver needs to go fast, any support champion needs to go fast, any person who wants to place the buff needs to have accuracy. So that's a line. So the first early game artifact sets that I always recommend will be triple speed, because at that stage maybe you'll be fighting the dragon at 16, 17, 20 for a while. You begin to get this good speed set. So this is the best set for early game players who are trying to reach that speed requirement and at the same time give him the accuracy chest or accuracy banner, whichever one you have to need him to place that decreased attack. It's not compulsory to have decreased attack accuracy on this champion. I think that's his secondary utility. The main utility is ability to go fast and do that revives whenever you need it. So anyways, that's Kaiden for the early game build, and since he's a champion that needs to place decrease attack and provoke sometimes, you might also want to see Relentless as an early game set, which adds some speed to you and to your champion himself. So triple set of Relentless is also a nice option if you don't have good sets for accuracy, for speed sets. Remember, you always have to focus on your stats over your sets. Try to hit the stats requirement before you try to pair them with set. Don't force yourself into a particular set when it's giving you low speed. Don't force yourself into a particular set when it's giving you low accuracy. Always try to mix and match. You can see right here that I mixed and matched mine. I mixed this set, I mixed speed set, and I mixed this one that does not give me anything. So this set in the middle, the helmet and the chest, does not give me any special stat boost. That's what I mean by mixing and matching. Why did I go for this one? Because of that triple speed you see right there. So I was going too slow on speed, so I changed that from a set to one that is no set but it still gives me more speed. 18 speed here, so I wanted him to be fast because of the revive, I guess. So that's my Kaiden build, and I've given you recommendations for the early game. And let's not forget that the champion who wants to place accuracy, if you're not yet having good perception set, this is the early game sets also for accuracy. And for end game players, you already know Relentless. If you have enough Relentless to go around, I keep my Relentless for more important champions like legendaries who need Relentless, legendary damage dealers, legendary debuffers who need Relentless. I save them for that. For epic champions like this who I want to use for City of Centranos or some mid-game level content, I'll give him a random set. As long as I meet the speed requirement and the accuracy requirement, I don't need to give him Relentless, which is going to make him take numerous stunts and get around to his accuracy, get around to his revive skill super fast. So that's how I built him. And again, I always recommend reflex sets for a lot of players who want him to always have his revive ready to go. That's if a lot of your players are dying in battle, where his reflex, that's some that I always recommend for the early game. Now for end game players, I don't know, I've not tried it on him or on any champion yet, but I heard Supersonic is also amazing. And there's a new set that is coming out right now that we can get from the new PvP mode, right? Siege. So that set also looks like something that he can benefit from because it's like for a debuffer, right? And Supersonic right here will give him some more speed stats, more speed stats, while also increasing any meter field effects by the way by 30%. So it's more of an end game perspective. But a lot of newer players are using Kaiden for revive purposes, beating faction wars, beating dungeon content. A lot of end game players who will not build this champion except the City of Centranos requires them to do so, like I am building him for that purpose right now. So maybe whenever you stop by the streams, twitch.tv/Breeze5D, if I'm beating one of those Centranos stages that needs him, you'll see him shining right here. But for now, I don't even know the content in this City of Centranos that needs him, but I just know that I need to develop a lot of champions for that end game content. This is the content I'm talking about, Corset City. And especially not this stage or this stage, it's this Soul Cross that is the problem. So it's one of these stages that will need him. That's why I built him. But let me know in the comments if you're using this champion in the early game. I know I did not need him for my faction war at all when I had Kale and Dark, Kale and others in that team, right? For Dark Elves. All right, it's time for us to test this battle. But no, I've not showed you his masteries and blessings and all that good stuff. because that's also something that is optional for faction wars, but might be necessary if you have the resources for City of Centranos to make him have the right stats. I went with offense 3 right here and selected this War Master Mastery to get some contribution of damage, right? And towards accuracy, and increase the duration of his decrease attack that he places, right? He extends the duration. 30% chance though of extending it. The first hit on City of Centranos stages will decrease their turn meter. And if I show my total stats, you see that he does have enough, I think, over 300 accuracy. Yes, if I add the mastery, the area bonus from Coastal City, I'm going over 338 accuracy right here. I tried to put a little bit of resistance, but it's coming out to 297. It's not 100% required, but that's optional. And check out the speed, 278 total speed. That's a fast dude. That's a fast dude. Hopefully this will get him around to his skill really fast. Check out his crit rate. His crit rate is crit capped, yes, 116 extra because I went crit rate on the glove. I could change that later, but it wasn't built for damage. That's why he has no crit damage. This is the default crit damage. I did not focus on crit damage at all. But so why did I give him high crit? Because I had nowhere else, no other stat that I needed. Now if I don't need all this crit, I'll simply go over there and change the glove. You have all this crit because I went crit rate on the glove right there. You can see it. So I can simply change this to something else, HP, defense, anything that I'm lacking. Maybe with speed substat or maybe with more accuracy substat, and then it will be a no crit build. But I just wanted to give him that, not built for damage, not gonna test him with damage. I'm just there to see him revive people that go down, and that's the battle I want to test out. For his blessing, for his support champion, you always want to, based on what you have in your teams, you want to pair him with that. So whether you have somebody doing cruelty already, if you don't, give him cruelty. Whether you have somebody already in your team with commanding presence to boost your ally aura, if you don't, give him commanding presence. So he's one of those champions that can help you hold one of those essential blessings, right? He's not one of those ones that benefits from all this top rare emergency heal or miracle heal. No, he will go for the epic blessing. Definitely not caution rain, not incinerate. No, choose your options. I don't know much about this neutralize and nature's wrath though. I have to check. I still recommend cruelty or commanding presence if nobody in your team already has it. Let me know in the comments if I'm wrong about that, but I have no blessing on him yet. When I do, that's probably one of those that I will select for battle. All right, it's time for me to test Kaiden in content, a good looking champion. And as usual, my battle test will always go into the dragon because I'm geared towards looking at early game usage, and then when the City of Centranos comes around, I will test him out in that content. Just like I did for this champion yesterday when I put her together with a bunch of liabilities, champions who have no gear, right? If you watch that video, let me know in the comments. That was Melga, and I criticized her so much for reviving 2 people but on a 5-turn cooldown. I did not like this champion for doing that. You're reviving 2 persons but on a 5-turn cooldown. So I think he does it better. Why did I say so? Because he also revives 2 people but on a 4-turn cooldown. So that's how different he is from her. But she has a totally different skill set, but he think for the revive role, he does it better. 4-turn cooldown. Take note. Whether you want to choose who will be in the same team with you, he does it better reviving 2 people. They both revive 2 people, but he does it. That's my what do you call this thing? Stream rate that's knocking off right there. Anyways, he does it for 4-turn cooldown, which makes him a better reviver than her. She might be good on better in other things and all that big shield she places, but decrease attack is also essential that he does. So I'm not trying to compare them. I'm just trying to point your attention to a different reviver that I did yesterday. So check out that video if you want to. So I'm gonna test him out in the same similar team where I bring a bunch of damage dealer, one damage dealer, no damage dealer, and then a bunch of champions who I know will take damage and die in battle. And I want to see him use the revive basically, and how fast it will take for him to use it again. So I'll turn on super race and test Dragon 20, where we are definitely gonna be going down in battle for sure. And I'll put it on slow mode. He starts the battle with his A2. He starts the battle with his A2, which is that decreased attack he has on them right now. And we will take less damage. That's what it means. The decreased attack went on one of the enemies for 3 entire turns because of the mastery we had. That had the chance of increasing the duration of debuffs he placed, which is nice. So that enemy will have to wait for 3 turns to do full damage. That's nice. We're still gonna take some damage, but I want to see him revive. Who is doing this big shields? I thought I didn't bring anybody with big shields right here. Probably Morag, I think. Anyways, I'm waiting for people to go down so we'll see that revive. That's what he's here for. Okay, somebody's about to go down. One hit and that champion goes down. I want to see Kaiden do it. He's still using the A2. I thought he just used it. It's available again. Well, he's really fast and he's running laps around these enemies, so it's not really fair. Come on, take me down so I want to see his revive. That's the only thing I want to see in this battle. Once I see that revive, we're good. That's it. Somebody has died. So whether it's one person is dead or two, he will still use the revive. Now two people are dead, he will bring them back to life. Let's see him. Kaiden. Yes. And they have their increased defense, 50% HP when they come back to life. That's the only reason why Kaiden will be in your team. Except maybe you need him for that decreased attack on the A2. But I feel like the revive is a better requirement for him to be in the team than anything else. So he doesn't do any healing, nothing, no special passive, no special thing, only that revive. His A1 provoke did land though. You can see him 30% chance to provoke, he did land. He's fully booked on my account. And let's see if the revive is available again. I just want to try it out in this battle where I know a lot of people will die, in case this is the type of thing you have where you have weak champions all around you, cold arts, army guards, your Kale. It's a super early game champion when you have no Rector Drought, you have no Seal of the Drake, you have no, there are much other better revivers in raid than Kaiden, but he have no options. He comes in clutch and helps you bring your team back to life. That is like he's about to do right now. Kaiden, or he already did it. He already brought somebody back to life. Okay. And once the battle ends, I'm going to end this battle and move on to something else. For now, I just wanted to show you what role he will play in your team. This is not a arena champion. I really don't see anybody using Kaiden in the arena at all. Not even for the revive, not even for the A2, not even for the A1. He's best known as a faction war champion and now will be known for me as a City of Centranos champion. So let me know in the comments if you've ever built Kaiden, if he helped you in the early game, if there's any content in the end game where you use him till now, 2024. For now, I just built him in this build to see if you can help me in some City of Centranos stages, and I thought I'll share the build with you guys in case you just got this champion and you're wondering his role in raid. Now you know. He's not super great at what he does, but he's totally not somebody you can just neglect. So anyways, if you have him, build him for the Dark Elves faction, build him for City of Centranos, build him for dungeons if you have no other better revivers like Rectro or others who do a better revive. Alright, I'll see you guys in the next one. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more daily raid content. Let me know in the comments which champion you want me to take a look at, and I'll do a dedicated guide like this for them and tell you all I know about them. Later guys.